Bang! It wasn't a normal knock. Bang! Sawdust came from the ceiling. Bang! The whole house shook. "That must be the new neighbours coming to wish you a happy birthday," said Mum, in the pretend cheery voice she uses when she doesn't want me to worry. It always makes me worry more. "But no one lives anywhere near here," I blurted, as all our plates fell off the kitchen shelf and smashed on the floor. Unlike our boring old houses on boring streets next to boring offices, this house was on the edge of a swamp. It smelled like damp raincoats and looked ready to fall down. I loved it. "Let's surprise them," said Mum, acting like I hadn't said anything at all. She shoved the top hat on my head, lifted me back onto the stilts and pulled the extra long dungarees up over them. "Mum, what are you doing?" I said. "If our new neighbours really were outside, this wasn't what I wanted to wear when I met them." Mum ignored me again and pushed me into the hall. I wobbled all the way. Bang! Bang! Crash! A big hairy fist burst through the middle of the front door and pulled it off its hinges. "Ah!" I cried. The hairy fist was attached to a hairy arm that was attached to a body that was even bigger than mine, and I was on stilts. This body was so tall, its face could have peered into our upstairs windows. But right now, the face and the arms and the fists and the body were bent over and squeezing through the space where our front door had been. There was only one sensible thing to do. "Help! It's a giant! He's going to eat us!" I yelled at the top of my voice. I stumbled backwards so fast I almost fell off my stilts. But the strangest thing of all was Mum. She didn't scream, or cry, or call the police. She said, "Oh, you must be Mr. Ogg. Thank you so much for coming." Then she pointed at me. "This is my son Harvey. I think he'll fit in perfectly at your school." School? What kind of school would want stilt-walking students, or have giants for teachers? "I'm sure Madame Bogbrush's school for gifted giants will be the perfect place for my gifted boy," Mum added. So that's what she was up to. Nice try, Mum. But even when I was wobbling on stilts, there was no way Mr. Ogg would think I was a giant. Not a chance. Absolutely not. Chapter 2. A giant-sized test. So, there I was, wobbling all over the place on my new stilts, and Mr. Ogg, the giant who'd smashed into our house, was squeezing himself into the kitchen. He had all the grace of a rhino climbing through a cat flap. I stared open-mouthed at the giant. The giant stared back at me. At any second, I expected him to point out the obvious fact that I, Harvey Small, was not a giant. I waited for him to tell Mum that I couldn't possibly go to Madame Bogbrush's school for gifted giants. I hoped he'd clomp away again, without bashing us with his huge, hairy fists. Mr. Ogg stamped his feet. Mum and I jumped a metre off the floor. "You? Not giant?" said Mr. Ogg. The force of his breath blew me into the fridge door. I knew it. I knew he couldn't fool a giant. Except Mr. Ogg wasn't talking to me. He was prodding a jumbo sausage roll-sized finger into Mum's chest. This was terrible. Mum was so desperate to find a school for me, she'd invited a giant teacher to tea. Now he was definitely going to bash her, and it was all my fault. I had to do something. "Giants don't like smalls," said the giant. "Giants stomp on smalls." He stamped his foot again, smashing through a floorboard. Smalls? How could all giants not like Mum and me? Mr. Ogg had only just met us. I stood frozen on the spot. A bead of sweat dripped down Mum's forehead, but she didn't give up. "Smalls? Yuck, we can't stand them either," she said. "I'm not a small. I'm a country giant. I'm an extremely rare short breed. You can tell..."